Okay, welcome back. Sorry for the month-long break, but I had little unimportant things I had to take care of. Unimportant business, like, birthdays and stuff. Goths! Yes, believe it or not, for those who are Goth illiterate, and for those who like to talk crap about things you know nothing about, just to make it seem like you know something about it, there are different kinds of Goths in the lifestyle. Just like every person isn't into the same exact things, every Goth isn't into the same exact things. Every Goth doesn't look the same exact way, every Goth doesn't dress the same exact way, every Goth doesn't listen to the same type of music. Every Goth lives a lifestyle differently. Here's an example I used in the past video. It's the same example I used to describe this to a couple of different people recently, actually. Look at the Gothic lifestyle as a tree. The tree has branches. Some of those branches have branches. So from this Gothic tree, one branch is a Gothic person, and every branch from that branch is a different kind of Gothic person. So this is going to be me trying to name a different kind of Goths that I've met at events or know in person. Starting with number one. How about we just say Goth? Just plain Goth. A traditional Goth person, I guess. This will be just what the title says. Just a person that looks different, probably only because their clothes are all black or they're always in dark colors. A typical Goth doesn't even really wear crazy makeup or any at all. They don't always have weird hairstyles or wear weird jewelry. A person could wear blue winter hat, white t-shirt, blue jeans, and boots and be considered normal. But another normal person has on a black winter hat, black shirt, black jeans, black boots, and looks like that. Often, they're considered Goth, thanks to the media and mundane or vanilla society. Traits of a traditional Goth would be probably big or wild hair, music or band name shirts, sliced or cut up, or fishnet clothing, obvious eye makeup, or smoky eyes on guys, black lipstick on girls, tight, faded jeans, sometimes with rips in them as well, spikes to the jewelry and or belts. That's just a few. I just want to name a few traits. I'm not going to keep going with the traits because I don't want to make this a little too long. So, number two, alternative or hippie Goth. Now, I call them this simply because they're the ones who are, hippies that just happen to like certain typical Goth traits. They might dress like hippies, but more in darker colored clothing than a typical hippie. And or might be into, say, the occult, witchcraft, dark or black magic, or Wicca in general, but still have typical hippie traits like being a vegan, being an animal lover, having a connection with certain animals, and therefore they identify as being a certain animal or creature themselves. Very eco-friendly and into saving animals, helping the planet, etc. Some hippie Goths might be heavily into music and would rather spend all day or night, because Goth, at a concert, especially if the venue is a wide open space. And they might have vast knowledge of different foods or how to cook it. These are the type of Goths that the media typically associates with common recreational drug use, heavy drinking, or often a promiscuous playtime and playtime parties or get-togethers that cater to this kind of behavior. So, typical traits of a hippie Goth would be a love or cherishing for nature and various creatures, a love for magic or anything Wicca and or occult related, typically very friendly, sometimes a little too friendly, typically very happy, sometimes a little too happy, even or especially if you're a stranger, a love for or heavily into all kinds of different music, never really seen wearing name brand clothing, or choosing something thrifty that can be made themselves, wearing jewelry that's also handmade, and not really wearing jewelry too flashy, or might have their face painted or some marking or meaningful symbol on it. Number three, the Gothic Lolita, J-Goth, or Japanese Goths. Okay, so I literally looked for a typical Goth from Japan or a typical Japanese Goth and used all sorts of phrases in Google to find it, just to find out after about 30 minutes that the actual title and name that they call Japanese Goths is simply J-Goth. This is a style made famous by some band from the 80s in Japan, it seems. It also seems like in Japan, the style of punk and the style goth are two totally different looking styles. And the term J-Goth is a hybrid of the two. In recent years, it seems that the J-Goth style has taken more and more inspiration from the Western styles of goth. Western means us, by the way. As a way to evolve and grow with their times. Which is funny because a lot of what people do out here, as far as what they look and how they dress, they steal from Japan. Anyway, But some J-Goths add their own subculture in it by taking themes or examples or styles from their own animes and cosplaying, using their own cartoon characters and such, and just swapping out the bright colors that'd be on those characters for darker ones. It also seems that the term Gothic Lolita also applies to men, because most men from Japan that are goth try to look like or take inspiration from famous cartoon characters in Japan media, and most of the cartoon characters are females. It seems the goal is to look more like a female and or more feminine. Typical traits of J-Goths: a collection of love for porcelain dolls. Also, big eyes, pale skin, and or makeup to achieve this look. No wonder the Japanese phone filters are so famous out here. Fast-paced or up-tempo music. Collections of picture toys or anime that might have the same characters in them, which is weird because some people say their characters all look the same. Makeup that usually makes them look younger, even with the men. Makeup that makes their eyes appear bigger, even with the men. Some type of flowers in their hair, and almost never fully black hair, even though the clothing might be black. And I say might be black because they wear colors, usually dull ones or darker versions of any color, and typically might have some kind of animal parts in them. Dog, cat ears, animal tails, animal gloves or paws, etc. Number 4, Matrix Goths. Okay, so I call them this because after the Matrix movies came out, I started seeing more and more people dressed like the characters from the movie. Trench coats, leather or leatherish fitted pants, and if they're at a party or an event, these Goths might tend to have some kind of mask, usually modded or modified gas mask of some sort, gloves or shades, even in dark lighting. Okay, as I did research for this entry in this list, I just found out that there is a term for Goths like this, and it's called rivet. Rivet heads, or just plain industrial. Traits of a rivet head Goth would be, like some other Goths, they prefer to not be called Goth. That's interesting. They're more into or drawn to industrial music more than any other genre of music, what Goth isn't for the most part, and or techno. All or at least half the outfit is going to be leather and or vinyl material. Males tend to dress in trench coats with vinyl pants and or boots, while the females tend to dress more short waist length leather or vinyl jackets, tight pants, leather skirts, and or boots. Number 5, the Fashion Goths. Fashion Goths are a term we simply use to call people who aren't goth and or don't do or live any kind of goth lifestyle, but dress like it just to be around their friends who are goths, to go with their friends to a goth party, just to feel more goth while they're at the event or while they're around their goth friends, or just to get the sudden attention that they see gothic people get. Some fashion goths go as far as buying fake jewelry, fake piercings, just to see how it looks on them for an event or for a function with their friends. It's literally about looking the part for that quick moment. If not that, then to give the impression that they do live and love the lifestyle, at least for the few hours that they might need to while they're at a function or an event. This means they're more than okay with just being goth for that one party, that one night a month, or maybe even 2 nights a year. Spending time being normal, looking normal, doing normal things every other time. So, traits of a fashion goth would be shopping or having alternative goth items, accessories, clothing, jewelry, footwear, etc., but never seen in any of it or dressed in any of it, maybe except for that one time they go out. Always having or needing to have flyers to the next goth party or industrial party or some sort of goth alternative function. Might be into some alternative group or something online, on some website, but never has any pictures of themselves dressed up goth or any pictures of themselves at a goth function. Might have goth friends, but never seen looking gothic themselves. Might even have pictures of themselves with their goth friends, but never seen dressed up as goths themselves. Having a little or a lot of goth or industrial music, and might have some knowledge of some goth or industrial artists, but never seen or caught listening to it. Always wanting to talk about or tell somebody about events and actions that might have happened at a goth or alternative party. Always having knowledge of what goes on at a goth or alternative party, even if they weren't there. Okay, so 5, that was 5. 5 different types of goths that are out there. Where am I? Where am I at? Where's the category I'm in? Oh yeah, 5 types of goths that exist in the Gothic lifestyle. I'm stopping here because my feelings are hurt because I feel ignored. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Hit me up on the Gram Machine if you have questions, if you have comments. Tell me what kind of goth are you. And don't give me that in between this type of goth and that type of goth. I'm a hybrid of bull either. So yes, what type of goth are you? What's your favorite kind of goth? Mine would be this. You know what I always hear in goth music? Bye.